So right here, I'm showing you how I design high converting email marketing system for Cytd.ai, a SaaS company that helps brands get cited by AI and eventually win the artificial intelligence search. So with the way the world keeps evolving, I mean, we're trying to get to a world without clicks, a world where you just need to search something and AI pull it up for you. And for every business, for every organization, for every brand that exists in the world right now, you want to ensure that when people search, AI shows you and not your competitor. Talking about LLMs like ChatGPT, Gemini, and other large language models that people use nowadays to search stuff online. My name is Success. I'm a growth marketer and performance marketer. I design systems and structures that helps companies grow and excel in the digital space, cutting across channels like paid advertisement, email marketing, SEO, and other digital channels. So as I was saying, in this video, I'm showing you how we design a high converting email marketing system. Now, Cytd.ai is a SaaS company that's helping companies, other organizations, and brands to be cited by AI and to win the AI search. So yeah, it's a full system, not just in email marketing, but a full marketing system that attracts, nurtures, and converts subscribers into high paying customers. So let me show you how we do it. First of all, as the moment of recording this video, Cytd.ai doesn't have a full email marketing system yet, right? Have real problem because we're not just talking about designing stuff, we're thinking solution oriented kind of systems, right? So presently they do not have a structured sequence for acquiring leads, for welcoming new subscribers, for nurturing them, and eventually converting them into paying customers. They do not have a sequence for that. They do not have an outreach, sequence for generating new leads for the business. And without new leads, no business thrives. And there were no flows or email automation systems in place. I mean, I've tested the system already, and there is practically nothing in that at the moment. So it's a retro problem and they're looking forward to solving that. Moreover, there is no proper segmentation of subscribers. Yeah, you're going to receive a couple of emails, but sounds more of just generic something you want to stand out because nowadays emails keep getting flooded. There are a lot of brands trying to get your client's attention. And for Cytd.ai, which wants to dominate and excel in this particular, adventure, you want to stand out. So this is a full system that drives growth, guarantees results across email and several other channels. Now, very firstly, before starting everything, you want to know who exactly are you targeting, right? You want to know what are your goals. You want to know what exactly you want to achieve at the end of any campaign, at the end of every sequence, at the end of every activity, whether small or big. But first of all, it starts by defining, who exactly the ideal customer is. And for the case of CITD.ai, based on every technical analysis and every proper market research that we have, this is the ideal customer profile, talking about their job titles. I mean, these are the people that are going to be interested in using a tool that is going to help their brand, help their company, help their organization to win the AI search and to be cited by AI whenever clients search things related to them, keywords and other patterns. So we have the job titles, the company types, the core pain points, their demographics, their current stack, the company size, and several other factors. As a matter of fact, as a bonus, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you full details of a document that has a full structure of the entire campaign and system that are designed for CITD.ai. Now, you might want to key on and explore that. So, of course, that's the ID customer profile. And with this customer profile, now you want to split the email into two categories, the inbound and the outbound. Now, inbound, as it knows, right, it has to do with email marketing activities or generally marketing activities that you don't need to go to people, you attract them, you don't go after them, you get to attract. So it's inbound. Now I split this into three categories: website content, social media and video content, and of course a very good lead magnet. Website content has to do with creating articles and blogs using the right keywords, because the people that you're trying to target with CIT.ai, remember, there are companies that are already, trying to pursue with the battle on search engine optimization. So of course they do have websites. So you want to key on, they're trying to figure out, okay, we do have a website, but how do we win the AI search? So you want to ensure that there is good content available to attract those kind of people. Social media content and video content, well tailored for these kind of people across platforms like LinkedIn, X, and every other social media account and channel that is suitable for this. Of course, more details is in the ICP details. And then a very good lead magnet, a very good lead magnet. In the case of CITD.ai, we are doing a bonus, a free check of how their artificial intelligence score presently is. So you're gonna input your website link and some little details, and then it's gonna skim through to see your AI score. When people search for stuff relevant to your website and things, how much is the frequency of you getting listed? How sure are you to getting listed? And it produces, that score, shows you you're lacking, and every other thing. That's totally free. It's a very efficient lead magnet. Now, that is what we're doing for inbound. Talking about now outbound, right? Very, very important. This is our stronghold. First of all, you design a cold email outreach system using Apollo. In this case, as I said earlier, we're trying to target people for Cytd.ai, and we have these people already existing. They're on LinkedIn, they are on Twitter, presently called X, and several other channels, right? Several other mediums. So how do we get them? We need a system. Now, it's not just about sending emails, right? Because you can get sent emails and it gets onto the spam folder. It never gets read, never gets opened, never clicked, never gets responded to. So you don't want to find yourself in this category. And for this case, we need a very good email sequence that we're going to be using. I prefer Apollo. Of course, there are several other tools, but I like to go with Apollo for this case. Right, so a very good sequence. Again, more details are on the document. The link is going to be available somewhere in the description or at the end of this presentation with full details of how the outreach sequence is being done. Then, of course, we do have LinkedIn email using Sales Navigator, very vital tool as well. And then paid advertisement, on Google and Meta. Of course, we can also include other channels like TikTok, and depending on how convenient that matches with our operations. So with that outbound marketing campaign in place, now we need a life cycle strategy. What happens from the moment the people receive our very first email? What happens from the moment they click to our website? As of now, there is no, strong lead generation strategy on the website. When people get to the website, they do not get, that trigger and that compelling effect to fill in their email and, so that it can be retargeted through a sequence or whatsoever. They can easily just evaporate, they can easily just go away and you've lost them. But you don't want that. Every single interaction is a dollar spent, and you don't want to spend more. You get. So I designed a very cool life cycle strategy that's about attracting, nurturing, educating, showing them the problem that their current lapses, in artificial intelligence has, showing them the opportunity, because at the end of the day, you don't just want to present the problem, you want to bring out the solution, and then converting them by selling the pro version of Cytd.ai. By the way, the pro version not only gives you a track of your email artificial intelligence core, but it also gets you to upgrade, and you get to dominate in that search, right? So for the email funnel, we have, first of all, people get to visit the website. Arguably, that should be the first interaction of most cases. They visit the website, they start the free analysis to get their AI score. From there, they of course obtain their CITD score, which is their AI score, and then we now need to convert them from free users to professional users, right, to the paid version. So we need to take them through that pattern, and I designed a very full sequence that explains each step of the way what is going to be done. As a matter of fact, we're using Mailchimp as our tool for this email marketing strategy. So I designed all the flows, designed all the various tags that are going to be using, the segmentation strategy, the automations that are going to be done. Every single thing is well detailed in the document. So you're going to have a link to check that here. So there is a complete welcome email series. As a standard now, when you go to Cytd.ai, and of course you fill in your details to get your AI score. First of all, it's not really personalized because the emails that come, they do not come with your name, right? It's not personalized, and you don't want that kind of generic pattern when talking to your client, especially in this crowded world. So that needs to, be highlighted. And then the fact that when they register, there is no sequence in place to follow up on them, to educate them, to nurture them. And no matter how many leads you're getting, when your leads get cold, it becomes another hurdle, to reawaken them, to reactivate them. And you don't want to find yourself in that mess. It's better, to get them hot, to get them going, to get them bonding with you, and then eventually sell to them no matter how long, but not getting them cold. So there's a complete welcome series. And again, there's a complete Mailchimp structure with audience, tags, segmentation, automation, every single thing that is going to be done along the way. So you're literally getting foresight and insight into how a successful email strategy is being built, right? Build this with me. And then there's equally a nurturing and conversion campaign, right? After they've been welcome, okay, after they leave the welcome series, they get to be nurtured, right? Again, you need to present to them the real problem. You need to show them the opportunity. Why should they use CITD.ai in the first place? They need reasons. Nobody just gets into business that way. So that is well structured there. And of course, for people probably who might get cold, they probably, for some reason, they no longer want to read our emails. No matter how good you are, you always want to anticipate such situations. What do you do to reactivate them? There is equally a sequence for that, right? So all of that is well structured there. And with everything that we are doing, we have revenue metrics that we are tracking, right? We want to first of all convert people from free to monitor. So the paid versions, they have two. There is monitor, where CITD.ai basically just monitors your website to be showing you how your website is doing in terms of AI search and all of that. So our target is first of all to move at least 10%, to 15% of the free users to the monitor plan. Now, for subscription based services, averagely they do 4%. The money comes in from having high users subscribing again and again and again. You get it. So if you're looking at 10 to 15% with this strategy, that's more than double, probably triple, all right, of what's average, what's normal, in the industry. I think there are a lot of good companies. I will not just mention their name, but if you look at their subscription model, their conversion from free to paid is just 2%, and they're making billions of dollars annually. So if we are looking at 10 to 15%, that's a massive conversion rate. And trust me when I say this, based on every analysis and every detail that I have here, this is achievable and it's going to be done. Now, we need to equally move from the monitor to the pro. We are looking at least 20 to 30%. Why higher? Because people have already used the monitor session. Do you understand? Monitor presents more details of the gap that they have. Now, pro gets them to cover that gap. It produces the lifetime solution and the speedy road to get to the desired, results that we want to get. And we're equally looking at, increasing the subscribers to the pro lifetime value where they get to stick on to, to maximize their lifetime value. Of course, there's a lifetime value calculation that I'm anticipating, but whenever you're designing strategy like this, you want to ensure that your lifetime is actually lifetime. They're going to use you till they die, right? So it's infinity. And you're equally playing with your customer acquisition cost to ensure that everything is in check. So all of that is equally there. And then, of course, we equally can have an email revenue attribution that's going to be tracked via UTMs. And, we're going to have other ways to ensure that this strategy is not just mouth watering or jaw dropping, but is actually delivering results. So at the end of the day, we had to have a customer retention rate of at least 70%. And that means we don't have up to 30% of our paid users unsubscribing from the paid plans. That's what we don't. Of course, churn rates can even go to like 40, 60, 30, 80%. A lot of companies have that and they still do pretty well, but I'm not looking at what other companies are. I'm a maximizer, not just an optimizer, right? So we're maximizing for these. So with that, we are very much sure to achieve great stuff with Cytd.ai via email, looking at the inbound, looking at the outbound, looking at the whole system and the structure, from the various tools, Mailchimp and the sequences and the automations and the flows, right? You're gonna have that. So for more details about ex, how this system is going to work, you can either click on this link here or you can scan this barcode. It's going to take you to a detailed, document on Google Docs that explains how we're working on with that. So again, if you need an email marketing system, paid ads campaign, or a full marketing structure with guaranteed results, then we should talk now. My name is Success, a growth marketer, a growth strategist, and a performance marketer. And my task or my joy comes from designing systems and structures that help companies excel in channels like paid advertisement, email marketing, SEO, and every other digital channel that's possible. So we blend and we ensure maximum results, not just optimum, but maximum in terms of revenue and return over investment. So what are you waiting for? Send me an email now and let's start working to increase your company and ensure that you have the necessary visibility, you have the necessary flow, you have the necessary systems in place to maximize your marketing, sales, and monetization strategy for your business.